I'm Steve from Burke Family 54 Comics, and we are talking Absolute Catwoman #1 by Scott Snyder, Che Grayson, and Bengal. We're getting 30 plus pages for just $4.99, and guys, it's worth every single penny. It starts off in London with it raining and cats in the alley. As we look closer, we see an inside of an apartment with what appears to be a Catwoman doing Catwoman things. She's sneaking across the place, looking to try to steal something from a safe. But right when she's about to open it, the real Catwoman says, "That's not me." And we see the absolute Catwoman shoot this Catwoman with tranq darts. As she says, "It's like looking in a mirror." Right as she's about to inspect this Catwoman, she's blindsided with bullets from a group of other Catwomen. As Selina says, 4 more women dressed like an old memory. Like my old crew, the Calicos, talking about, of course, Calico Cats. This is not the first cat pun we're going to see in this issue, so be prepared for that. Absolute Catwoman uses her tail from her suit to wreak havoc on these imposters until they start running, and Selina realizes they set a bomb to explode her apartment. She makes a joke about cats having 9 lives, which again is another cat pun, and she's worried about breaking all of her bones in her body as she's falling and says, "Happy birthday to me." The next page shows us what happened earlier that morning. She gets a call from someone named Dante Calderon asking her how it feels to turn 25 years old and asking her if she's going to visit the villa this week. And she responds, "I can be there in a few hours," before saying, "I've just got a few last things to close down here," as she steps foot into her own cat cave full of tech, suits, and more. This place has everything, guys, including something called the Wildcat, which really had me interested in whether or not we're going to see something new or something from JSA being a callback. She looks around saying she doesn't need any of these things anymore, and it served its purpose, and now I'm done. No more looking back. We get a then from 12 years ago of Selina as a child living in Gotham City as a foster kid, but doing Catwoman things. She's stealing something, this time a bracelet her foster father was going to give someone. And while he's choking her on the fire escape, he says, "No one's even going to notice you're gone." And she replies, "You're right, but I bet you'll miss all those foster care checks you cash every month. We both know you use it to pay off your gambling debts to the Falcones." Selina pushes away her foster father, Joe, as she climbs to the roof. She tells the readers she didn't want the bracelet, she just wanted it to flip for some cash, so she could save some money to get out of there and go back to Cuba. We get a now page with Selina and Cicely at the villa. She arrives in style in a helicopter. We learn that this could be her villa, but that it demands extremely demanding upkeep. And Selina says, "Thank you, Dante, but no." As it appears, she likes to be alone. At the villa, she looks over the wildlife and Dante explains there's a cat. It appears to be a panther or something of the sort, and Dante explains how dangerous it is and that he could hire a professional to take care of it. And Selina just replies, "No, she just wants to be left alone," leaving readers thinking she's not just talking about the cat. We see her back in London for her birthday night, talking about how if she was anyone else, she would put her last night in London to good use, as she pours a drink for herself, saying, "Cheers to 25. But then she hears a noise in her place. She grabs a knife, and just as she was trying to defend herself, we see someone coming around a corner, and Selina throws a knife at this person, but thankfully, it lands in the cake that the person is holding. This person is her friend, Holly, saying, "You trying to kill me, see?" They talk about how it's been 7 years since they've seen each other and how Holly was only able to get into Selina's place because Selina taught her every trick in the book. As Holly tries to give the cake to her with a 25 on top, Selina asks why Holly's really there. And then we see Holly has a bruise on her eye, and Selina says, "Some things never change, do they?" We get another flashback to Selina in Gotham, but this time it's 10 years ago of Holly running from the cops, and as I ask Selina where Holly went, she replies, she hasn't seen anyone unless they're a cat, as she laughs. As Holly comes crawling out, she says thank you to her, and they pet a cat named King Rupert. We learn that the cops were chasing her because she smuggled her locked up mom a 3D printed screwdriver that is implied to be inside of a cake that she's holding in a box. We go back to the apartment of Holly talking about a job, but Selina quickly tells her she only works alone now, saying, "You know why." And Holly tells her she screwed up back then and that there's not a day that goes by that she doesn't think about it. She tries to guilt trip Selina by saying, "You just left. It's like you didn't even care." And Selina screams, "Oh, I cared. I cared a little too much, and I paid the price." And Holly tries to reassure her by saying, this will be the last time she ever asks for help. Holly hands Selena her cake and says, "Happy birthday," as she walks out of Selena's luxury apartment. Catwoman asks her if she's going to be safe, and Holly replies, "Don't lose any sleep over me, C. I always land on my feet." Again, another cat pun. As Selena talks about her time with Holly, she cuts into the cake, revealing some sort of ball or orb, and that's when you see the first scene from the book with the Catwoman breaking in as our absolute Catwoman suits up. The next page cuts to Selena using a parachute to land just after the explosion from the first few pages, and it's revealed she broke her ankle and dislocated her shoulder. As she watches the Catwoman gang race off, she says, "The copycats destroyed my penthouse, and with it, whatever plans I had for a fresh start. I guess I will get to use the Wildcat after all, at least one time." As it's revealed, the Wildcat is her futuristic motorcycle in this really cool looking shot. She uses some of her tech in her helmet called Jonesy to look for them. Her helmet tells her there's 7 of them, and Selena's puzzled because there were only 5 in the apartment. As she continues to scan for Holly, she sees her on the back of one of the motorcycles with her mouth covered. Selena initiates a radiographic vision in her helmet and says, "The mystery woman snatched Holly and my little birthday surprise," talking about the orb, of course. The person stealing Holly has her face covered with a helmet, and Selena says, "Whatever that thing is, it's worth killing for." The driver causes a pileup, but the Wildcat goes into apex mode and starts jumping over the pile like a cat before transforming back into a motorcycle. It honestly kind of looks like a Transformer, which kind of feels like Scott Snyder is really into the 80s and Transformer stuff with his stuff on Absolute Batman as well. Selena catches up to the person and starts fighting. This person is wielding 2 swords and is giving Selena everything she wants and more, with Catwoman saying, "I'm not used to fighting this hard," as Holly looks on. This person blocks everything Selena throws at her, including her tail from her costume, as Catwoman says, "Who the hell is this lady?" Selena says she learned street fighting, UFC, and boxing moves from Waylon, aka Killer Croc, but that she also studied on her own, learning Sambo, Muay Thai, Judo, and more. But again, the assailant is keeping up with Selena blow for blow until Catwoman shifts her focus and gets whacked. But it's revealed she grabbed the orb before she hit the ground, as she asks her mask to pull up the last coordinates for the Wandering Rose, as she says, "I'm going to need more firepower." What that is, I'm not sure. Could it be Rose Wilson, aka Ravager, aka Deathstroke's daughter? I don't know. Maybe. The last page sees the assailant taking Holly off her bike as she finally takes off her mask with someone calling, saying, "You did an excellent job tonight. We are very proud of you, Cassandra Cain." Wow, that book had it all, guys. I loved it. I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. Scott Snyder, Che Grayson, Bengal, you guys killed it. The ending was shocking and amazing when I first read it. But for DC fans, I don't think it's going to be super shocking because it was revealed on Tuesday, June 9th. There's going to be a brand new Absolute book coming out called Absolute Cassandra Cain, The Shadow's Hand by Che Grayson, who's also writing this, and also Matthias Bergera. It's a one-shot coming out in September exploring Cassandra Cain's origins in the Absolute universe. All right, guys, I'm Steve from Burke Family 54 Comics. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think about today's video. How excited are you guys to finally get to read Absolute Catwoman? All of that and more. All right, guys, thanks for watching. And as always, go Cats.
Cowabunga. It's morphin' time.